The National Hockey League is facing criticism this Monday after making the decision to ban players from wearing specialty jerseys during warm-ups. The move coming after many players refused to wear Pride Night jerseys last season.
Joining us now to discuss is our panel board member for Gays Against Groomers and civil rights activist David Leatherwood, host of Money Talk with Melanie, Project 21 member Melanie, Collette, and Joe Pinion. Joe, I want to turn to you first. Do you think that this was the right move by the NHL to do this?
Look, I think that the NHL is a private entity. They can do what they want to do. I think at the end of the day, they have to be responsive to their players and they have to be responsive to their audience. And I think that you see when you fail to do that, bad things can happen. In the case of Bud Light, they're losing billions and billions of dollars. They're trying to scramble to get some of those customers to come back. So, look, you have a brand, you have to protect it. And I think whether you're talking about LGBTQ paraphernalia or whether you're talking about, something like the NBA where you have players running around with guns in a Instagram video, you have to make sure that you have some continuity with your brand and your consumer base.
Hey, David, what do you think?
Well, piggybacking on what Joe said, I mean, this is an example of a company who was betraying their primary demographic for a super minority demographic that doesn't even really appreciate being pandered to. More and more gay and lesbian Americans are kind of getting sick of all this pride nonsense happening during the month of June and rainbows being shoved down everybody's throats. And they don't need to feel this from an organization like the NHL.
David, could you address that a little bit? I was at an event this weekend in Northern Virginia, which had a lot of the Pride Festival. A lot of folks, it was an out and about kind of thing. And I'm kind of curious, would I get that feedback from the same people if I asked them, we don't care about hockey, you don't have to pander? Is that the way they're feeling more and more? Is it's just pandering and it's not necessary and you look silly?
100%. I mean, if you look at the ticket sales, I mean, first of all, gay people in general are just a very small percentage of Americans, and how many of them are actually watching hockey? I mean, we've already seen a lot of players stand up and say they feel uncomfortable being forced to wear these jerseys, some of them citing religious freedom reasons, and those players should completely have that right to have those objections, and they should not be forced to wear any jersey, especially to pander to a minority group of people that don't even really care in the first place.
Right, but Melanie, because in making this decision, not only have they decided to pivot away from any sort of pride jerseys, but they're also banning jerseys for like cancer awareness and other causes. How do you think that this will impact just all of the fundraising and really great things that a lot of teams do at their games?
I think it will, and I think it's a shame that they did away with all special jerseys just because of one situation. I get it, but it's one of the things that irritates me that organizations do in general. Like one bad thing happens, and it's like, you know what? No, now we're not going to celebrate anybody. Now we're not going to do anything.
Right,
like, for example, cancer awareness is kind of important.
Yeah. People, no matter what your gender is, no matter what your sexuality is, you can get cancer. Right. It's like everyone. It brings everybody together. It's not a separating thing. I wanted to get to this very quickly, and what might be the dumbest decision since eating pizza with a fork, which brings some political candidates to mind. The liberals in New York City are coming after your favorite pizza joints. The New York City Department of Environmental Protection drafting new rules that pizza parlors with coal and wood-fired stoves those are the
That's
best,
the only way to eat it.
Yes, exactly. Those are the good ones. Must cut carbon emissions by up to 75%, Joe.
Since these people have taken over control, we've seen carbon emissions in New York go up 37%. It's not because of the coal-fired pizzas. It's because they shut down Indian Point, which was the nuclear plant providing 1/3 of the power to the Hudson Valley. We've also seen the fact that on a pure basis point, we're up 14% for actual fossil fuel usage in New York State. So all of these people that say they care about the environment and they want a greener New York and a greener America are passing policies that take us in the wrong direction. They make the world a dirtier place. They make it a more expensive place for people on Main Street. And of course, now you can't even get a decent pizza in New York.
Quickly, Melanie.
they will take that pizza out of my cold dead hands, and I. Pizza is one of the few pleasures we have left in life, and somebody somewhere said, "Oh my gosh, we haven't attacked the pizzas yet."
And David, it brings us all together. Pizza brings everybody together, right? And now they're trying to put us apart again.
What are they thinking?
Elon Musk actually made the perfect response on Twitter. He said, "This is not going to make a dent at all in carbon emissions. It's really stupid. I'm going to New York City."
And that's the bottom line. Just like everything else, the Green Gestapo tends to do. This is not going to move the needle.
It's not
They
about
don't do the math. David Leatherwood, Melanie, Collette, and Joe Pinion, thank you so much for being with us.